frequently asked questions when it comes to math and math teaching. Can you make math fun? Kind of related to the last question, when am I ever going to have to use this? And a lot of times I get asked, can you make math fun? Because let's face it, a lot of math isn't that fun to do. A lot of math is very repetitive, and for especially folks that are, my age and older, you might memorize, those long worksheets that you're doing over and over and over again, those homework workbooks and those textbooks where you're doing things over and over and over again, and it feels repetitive and it's hard and all that other stuff, and so it's not fun. And so often I get asked by kids and parents alike, can you make it fun? And I tell them, well, maybe. It all depends. See, here's the thing. If you come into doing math, looking at it as not fun, dreading it, coming in with that energy, it won't be fun. And there's really nothing that I can do to make you enjoy it. A lot of times people want to gamify math and turn it into a game, but problem solving, real problem solving is not always fun. Sometimes it's frustrating. You're not really going to get the reward of it until it's over, and that's why a lot of times people try to go through math problems very quickly. A lot of times people want to get the math problem done because then when it's done, it's over, and now you feel better about it because you've gotten to the end of it. But the truth of the matter is that there's sometimes problems that you're going to have that you have to just see it all the way through, and it won't be necessarily a fun process. So at a large extent, what I'm basically saying is that you have to be willing to change your mind about math. And that is also a skill. Now, you may not be able to do that every time. You're gonna probably have to make a game out of it. You'll have to use your imagination. You may have to give the numbers a personality. You may have to, imagine yourself in a scenario where you're a doctor or, let's say, a forensic scientist or anything. But if you don't change your own energy, it's not going to change itself for you. So I can't necessarily make it fun, but I can try to make sure that it's interesting and as relevant as possible. What I also do is I make sure that it's as easy to understand as possible. The fact of the matter is that a lot of things that aren't fun aren't necessarily hard to do either. I also tell people, try to use different terminology, right? If I say practice, that makes people cringe. It takes all the energy out of the room. But if I say rehearsal, it's a little bit different. So instead of practicing math, maybe you're rehearsing the math. You're going through a set of motions and processes of thinking that now can make it more interesting and more fun, at least for the time being. But it also relates to, your study habits. If you just spend 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, you can break it up, you can do all these things. But if the question is can you make math fun? I can't make it fun, you have to do that. And when you do start changing your mindset about math, believe me, it becomes way easier and the nuances start sinking in. And when people say math is everywhere, it actually starts to stick. But there's still more questions that I'm often asked about math when it comes to it being fun and being relevant. And part of the reason why a lot of times people are asking those questions is because they don't actually realize that there's kind of two different sets of math: pure math and applied math. That's what I'm going to get into next.